Haley's back at it again, and this is just about the time that I was going back and forth with the, not going back and forth, but that I decided I was going to move my doorbell, okay? Because I'm tired of her stepping on my porch. She's nasty, and every time she step on my porch, it's some voodoo shit going on, you know, them trying to further call me her and her me. So what, this time she's like, well, my son, she was like, hey, my son, he has to be to work at 7 a.m. He asked me for a ride. She was like, did you hear about that wreck? She was like, that was my son. He got into another accident and wrecked his car, but he starts a new job tomorrow. She's like, he had the cataract surgery. Remember when they were trying to make sure they stole my black glasses on my way out after I packed them in my bag going to Georgia and Tennessee? Remember they sold the glasses? That's because on my way back, I was going to stop in Columbus and have LASIK surgery. So going to, I had the consult just to make sure I was a good candidate, and coming back, I was supposed to get the surgery done. So it was him. Because they were calling him me, they were looking at him get cataract surgery and claiming that it was me. They don't want to put the fat back on me, and they don't want to take the fat off of me. So they made sure I didn't show up and get LASIK done. But they had a similar eye procedure, you know, captured a line about who was who, you know, and it's so fucked up how all these different technologies play a part in them manipulating reality. I would have to go through all that, but I'm doing a video on it soon, so I don't. Anyhow, she's like, I gotta take him to work. She's like, yeah, that wreck that knocked out like some power lines and took out like a big truck or whatever. She was like, yep, that was him. And I was like, oh, you know, and so she's like, yeah, he starts a new job or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm leaving at 2 a.m. I was like, but what I'll do is when I come back, I'll park on the street. That way you have a way out. You'll be able to get out in the morning when you leave. And remember the last time she did that, told me that she had to go somewhere at 7 a.m. It was to pretty much like serve as being called Samantha Wenzel across the street. So she was just trying to make sure that a vehicle was in place that they could control and claim that, you know, the two houses were the same, because they're still claiming covertly that they're in a single family home. So then I'm like, yeah, I'll make sure you have a way out though. And she's like, oh, okay. She was like, oh, I hope something about her energy, she said, so that she can do the yard. And I'm like, this is after yesterday when I said I hope the landlord mows this year. Okay, so now she's trying to cover up that conversation and claim that she was the one having a conversation about the yard and not me. All I said to her last night when I walked by was, I hope he mows this year. And this is after she stopped me and told me, she was like, I talked about that already, the cigarette dust thing. That's the only reason I said something, because you know I don't engage. I'll walk right by her. And she's like, yeah, the yard. And I was like, what, the front? And she was like, all of it. She's like, I hope I get a chance. I was like, yeah, was that last year or the year before when the weeds were real bad? She's like, well, we threw some straw down there now. So she's trying to claim that my woodchucks that I put down is straw. She's trying to claim my space. They ain't got fucking straw in the front out there. So, and I'm looking at her like, do you think I don't know that it ain't no straw outside, or that the little bit of straw that you claim? Oh no, wait, they did throw straw down because they were using it also for the cat haven. So they did put some straw down. But that's how I was looking at her. Like, I know you don't think I don't know it, because it's not real visible. And unlike these woodchucks, it's real visible. And so then she goes, yeah, she was like, Courtney, she had, if you don't, you know, it's like me shutting up and being short isn't enough. Like, she'll just go on and on. She's like, yeah, Courtney, She was like, she had her hysterectomy today. She said, or yesterday. She was like, I was over a place and she said it was so quiet. She said it gets so high. I said, I hate these bitches. I said, and she talked about the same ones that she claiming as her boyfriend's friend, and ain't none of them friends in real life. Okay, this is a covert operation, and you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all desperate people trying to get away. You know what I'm saying? Like, these days, folks don't just, and in other cases, they do easily call folks their friends. But I'm just saying, they don't fuck with each other like that for real. They don't. The only thing they got in common is their hate for me. And when they gather, it's about me. So, but she's like, yeah, she was like, it's just so loud. She was, and I was like, yeah, I hate these bitches. And she was like, she went on to talk about her daughter's hysterectomy. And she's like, she was like, I had one. She's like, my mom, she said her mom had one. And I was like, oh, so it's hereditary. And she was like, yeah. She was like, she said she used to bleed like every day. She said 30 days out of the month she would bleed. And she would bleed for, and she went through that for 10 years. And I'm like, hold up, you're telling me you bled every day for 10 years. And she said finally they told her that she had some type of shit like in her groin, and she was like, well, I'm gonna have a hysterectomy. And so she was talking about how her daughter be stopping by all the time, talking about she gotta pee, and she's like, bitch, go home. She said that. She said, I told her, I'm like, bitch, go home and pee. But she's like, and she's like, Kirsten, she was like, yeah, she's back over here. She was like, she's living with me. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed. And she's like, yeah, the place that she was in went into foreclosure. So notice how a lot of the things that they're talking about with Kelly's orders are the things that they were claiming were going to happen to these. That's how they're saving them from getting caught. So they hide the identities. They act like they're completely different people. So they act like Samantha had her car repossessed. They act like the Mita's place went into foreclosure. And they act like all kinds of things. And then they'll, you know, find a link somewhere, you know. I'll talk about that later. So she's like, yeah, place went into foreclosure. The place where she was renting at, it went into foreclosure. And she's like, so she came and she had to stay here. That's why her and her boyfriend are staying here. Damn, girl. She was like, yeah, she was renting a room. And she was like, and you know, she take care of herself and all. She was like, and she's been looking for a place but can't find one. And pretty much her daughter, the youngest, feels the same way about her cat, about her own cat that she brought with her. She was talking about the black cat in the window too. And talking about, you know, it being the son they gave birth for, you know, some shit like that. And she was talking about how, you know, she take care of herself. She said her car needed a thermostat. She was like, she can't ask her daughter to take her son because her daughter's car needs a thermostat. And she was like, think, you know, whatever, that she only is a mile from work. She must be working 4 hours a week. So she claims that she's a mile from work. And I was like, well, that's good. You know, she don't got to worry about commute. And you ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? So she's dealing with it. You know, she's got it made in that way, being a mile from work. And she was like, yeah. And she was like, she would go on and on and on. And I didn't take my phone with me because I expected her to be in her car with her car running when I got to the door. But she was there. And the government had, either she did it or they did it. But they opened my door. And you know, when I come in, I close it and I lock it behind me. It was hanging open, but just cracked, as if I was going to go back outside. So that's what it might have looked, you know what I'm saying? That's how they kind of played it. But either her or them with physics touched my motherfucking door, trying to make it look like she was coming from my place. So She was talking about her daughter, her job, her car, and she said she found one for her son that was $1,600, and she told me, she was like, you could just, you know, the inside's messy, you could tell it was a work truck or whatever. She was talking about the kind of work that he does too, like heavy machine operator, like so something like HME, HHE, heavy, something like that. But not really, like on a really, really low scale. So it's not HHE at all. It's like a tool shop that has a couple of big trucks or some shit like that. So she was like, she found me one, and she told me, she was like, you know, do this, she said, just until you can afford something nicer or whatever. And this is, notice, she talked about cars twice. She talked about her daughter's car, and she talked about her son's car. And meanwhile, I have to play cordial when I really want to say, bitch, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because she'll go and call the cops. I know you're trying to motherfucking claim that I'm the one having these motherfucking problems when it's y'all that are having these motherfucking problems. I don't have no car problems. So you trying to put your motherfucking dogma and y'all badass karma off on me, bitch. You a voodoo fucking crackhead ass hoe, you. So, demon possessed ass bitch. She's like talking about that or whatever, and then I'm like, finally I got rid of her. And so, but then I'm like, oh, I gotta put on my shoes and get something for my car. So I step inside my door, slip on my flip-flops, and I go to my car. And as soon as I pop my motherfucking trunk, remember, I didn't even bring my shit inside because them other bitches was outside trying to act like they were me, toting in this shit from the trunk. My motherfucking big ass white comforter that I washed today is still in my motherfucking back seat. I didn't bring it in. I brought in the sheets. So, as soon as I pop the trunk, oh, and she gets up from sitting, she has her door propped open on her car, and she sits inside and she'll smoke with the door open. That's what she does when she come out. And she's like, and she got up and turned, like walking towards and see that there's more bags, and I'm like hurrying up and grabbing only two and quickly shutting my trunk. I don't want you laying eyes on nothing. You're claiming other, like, I'm not just any motherfucking body. I'm Christ. What the fuck are you doing trying to claim my behavior? The fuck are you trying to do calling me you and your nasty ass motherfucking clan of people? Her whole motherfucking family nasty and fucked up and on drugs. That's the federal government for you. That's what the federal government is doing. Posing as these motherfuckers, controlling the minds and using them to try to fuck me over. Calling them me with kinetics, not showing the motherfucking body itself, but showing kinetics. Okay, that's like little sticks with joints. Little sticks and knives. Lying about who's who. Attacking my motherfucking appearance, putting fat on me and shit, and acting like I don't work out. So, and the worst part about this situation, like every time she gets desperate, she was just down there slamming shit around because I didn't go back to my trunk like they told her I was. So they sent her. Told her to come and hit my motherfucking step. Every time some desperate shit like that goes on and she's like, you know what I'm saying, trying to make up some small motherfucking talk, it's a desperate act, like something went wrong and they're trying to, you know what I'm saying, orchestrate shit to fuck me over. Orchestrate something to lie about who's who. They removed the memory. I was just about to say something. I was just about to say, that's what happened when I started spitting that motherfucking truth. That raw and uncensored truth. They see thoughts for me and they will remove it. And be like, nope, not that. Nope, we don't want her saying that. Nope, not that. The worst part about it is that small talk shit. Like, you know I don't like you. She knows I don't like her. And I know she don't fucking like me. I know the bitch hates me with all her motherfucking guts. Okay? So that playing nice bullshit is just to not get in overt trouble. Covertly. And not even covertly, just covertly. Behind closed doors, your motherfucking conversation is different. Because as soon as you go in the motherfucking house, you calling me all kind of bitches and motherfuckers. As soon as you go in your apartment downstairs, you calling me all kind of bitches and motherfuckers to your motherfucking clan. And I know that. And I've caught you doing it. And I was about to say the worst part about it is I don't give a fuck about none of that. Any motherfucking day now I can snap and kill that bitch. I don't give a fuck. Any day. Any motherfucking day. Y'all can be watching all this like that was just 4 motherfucking days ago. It's all over the fucking news.